Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so excited to bring to you this week the beautiful face of my cousin who allowed me to do her makeup. And so we are starting off with freshly washed skin. I'm actually applying some moisturizer here, and I'll also be applying some primer. And you know, these two things are very important for makeup application. You always want to make sure your skin is moisturized. Even if you have skin that is oily or you know, just prone to, you know, dryness being, or even if it's dry, you know, you really have to just make sure that you apply moisturizer, because what that's going to do is going to create a smooth and soft surface for the makeup to adhere to. So primer is important because what it's going to do is allow your foundation and the other makeup products to stick to your skin and to stay in place all day, or a good primer should. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to match my cousin's color of her face to her neck. So you'll see me try a couple different shades. I'm using a little applicator here to make sure that her face matches with her neck area, because what we don't want to see is your face is dark, your chest is light, or your chest is dark, your face is light. It's just gonna look weird, especially depending on what seasons we are coming in and out of. In the summertime, you tend to be a bit more tan on your neck and the face. If you wear SPF, your face is always going to be naturally lighter than your chest and your neck. So what you want to do is, although your face may be lighter than your neck and your chest area, you want to match your face to your chest, because when people see you, they're going to see that upper portion of your body, right? So they're looking at you in your face, and they can also kind of see your chest area if you depending on what you wear. Like if you're not wearing a turtleneck, you know, it's going to look a little bit funny. So again, the importance of matching your face to your neck is going to be very aesthetically pleasing. It's going to allow for the eye to automatically pick up on that you know, that look, and everything's going to look cohesive. And really with makeup, that's what you want. Unless that's not what you're going for, then hey, you do what you want to do. But that's the purpose. That's what I like to do, match my face and my neck. Sometimes I have applied foundation that was lighter than my chest area, and it looked weird. Like, and the foundation may very well be your color. It's just that your skin may not be in that right season. So you'll also see me kind of blocking the view sometimes here as well. I just want to apologize in advance if you miss anything. But always, if you have any questions, please just let me know down below. Okay, so now I'm here working on her brows, and I noticed that she actually already has her brows done and they're shaped, which is a makeup artist's super favorite thing, when a person comes with their brows already finished and done. So now what you're going to do is fill in the brow to make it look more bold. And so it's just going to be that much easier to go ahead and fill in her brows. When the brows are already done, that means there's less steps. You don't have to pluck anything. You don't have to add extra concealer around those brows to make them look sharper. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue to fill in her brows. And again, I'm just going for a nice easy look here. This is a person who is not very wild about too much makeup, so I want to make her look as natural as possible. We don't want to pile it on. You may notice that you'll have clients or people you'll practice on that don't really like a lot of the shebang. You know, I like a lot of the shebang because that's just what I like. You know, I like glam. So what we're doing here is going for an everyday, easy look that she can possibly replicate for herself. So continue to watch and let me know if you have any questions. So one thing that I loved about applying makeup on my cousin is that, first of all, she's helping me get a little bit more experience. So she was very happy to be my model for the day. She was a little bit apprehensive about being on YouTube, but, you know, thank you, girl, for sticking in for the greater good. So she, like I said before, she's not really a person who does makeup often. She doesn't really like to do the works and everything, but I actually believe that maybe somewhere in the near future that she'll pick up a lot more tips and things so that she can just begin to apply makeup on her own in a more detailed way. Like, she actually does apply foundation and brows. She's actually really good at doing her brows. And I would like to see her do her own eyeshadow, which would be exciting because eyeshadow can actually be intimidating. But I encourage you, if you were if it's your first time applying eyeshadow, you just want to kind of do something really easy. It doesn't have to be a smoky eye or something intimidating. Like, literally just take a shimmer, a nice shimmer, and just apply it across your lids. And then once you get used to applying eyeshadow, you can actually play around with it. Like, one thing I love about makeup, actually the main thing I love about makeup, is the vast amount of creativity that is possible just through expressing yourself. So I don't want to keep rambling, but listen, I love to talk. So yeah, that's one thing you'll get to know about me here, is that I love to talk and I love to share tips. I love to share what I know. So please continue to watch and enjoy. One thing I want to say is super shout out to Blackout for making this beat, because I just turn it on sometimes and listen to it because I love it. He custom made the beat for me. I gave him my idea and I said, look, I want a beat that sounds like this because I like this kind of music. And he delivered. So I have to post his information below so you guys can reach out to him if you want a beat made, or if you know somebody that needs beats. He is a producer from Trenton, New Jersey, and y'all know I love Trenton, so definitely check out his information and hit him up and see, you know, what he can do for you, because he is definitely very talented. Again, his name is Blackout and he's from Trenton, New Jersey. So I'll be using this Nomad palette, and I used a very light brown shade just to kind of cover up the concealer. FYI, I'm using Maybelline Fit Me products, okay? I used the Fit Me foundation for her skin tone, and then what I did was I used the foundation for concealer. Now, when I say that you can do whatever you want to do with makeup, this is one of those moments where you can do what you want to do. The only thing about it is that it dries down real quick, much quicker than concealer. So the reason why I did that is because I didn't have the right color concealer with me. And as a makeup artist, you're going to find that you're going to have to finesse it. Like, you're going to have to finesse your job sometimes, because if you forget something at home, if you don't have the right brush, if you lose something or drop it in something where you can't sanitize your stuff, you're going to have to finesse it. You know, it is what it is. Just do the very best that you can and always deliver, and make sure you do a great job, you know, because that's what clients are paying for, and you want them to be satisfied with the look. So, I mean, what they don't know kind of won't hurt them, just as long as you're being sanitary throughout the process, because that's important. Okay, so I used a regular foundation on her. I think the color was, I want to say it was like nutmeg. And so I went in with a lighter foundation shade that had a little bit of warmness to it, just so that it'll be easier to blend. And so what I did after I covered her eyes with the foundation was I made sure I blended it well so that the foundation was very smooth on her skin and not patchy, because that shows up under the eyeshadow. And so now I'm just taking this brown shade at the very outer corners of her lids. As you know, I used a light brown kind of skin tone eyeshadow color for her first shade, which is like I guess a transition color. So I'm taking that dark brown on the outer edges of her eyelid, and that middle section, which you're going to see very shortly, is going to pop so much. It's going to look so pretty. So stay tuned for that. So let me explain, because you can't really see what I'm doing from this angle. Thank God I was able to get her other eye in the frame. So I'm taking this brush, and it's kind of like a smudge brush. It has very short bristles, because what I did was I dipped into the darker brown shade so that I can control where exactly the dark shade is going. So I need a precise application here, because I don't want the color just falling all over the place. I want it to be very concentrated in the area and easy to blend, right? So that's why I took that small brush with the short bristles, so that I can easily control where the placement of the shadow is going. So I'm just gently applying layer on top of layer, because it's easier to build up than it is to take away. And that's another gem that you may have to write that down or something. When you're applying shadows, you want to kind of build up. Don't go in with such a heavy hand, because you know when you do that, you're going to, it's basically easier to make mistakes, if that makes sense. When you build up on top of your shadows, you have better control, because you don't want to do anything by happenstance. You want to kind of remember your process, what you did, to make sure your client had the best possible look they can have. Okay, so I am kind of positioning my hand like a pencil, because I'm shading in those outer corners of her eyelids. And what I'm doing is I'm leaving that kind of that front portion closer to the nose bridge. I'm leaving that open because I'm going to apply a very beautiful shade there, and I want it to pop. I like the contrast of the shades that I chose. And this look is so easy and so very classy, and you can pretty much wear it anywhere. Church, baby shower, as a guest, or the actual lady who's having a baby shower, whatever you want to do. You can wear it to work, you can wear it to school, and it's just a very classy look, especially to brunch. I love brunches, so a lot of my looks actually are centered around brunches. So I added a bit more of that foundation, because I didn't have any concealer, to that portion of her eye so that the shade can pop more. Don't be afraid to add concealer when you are applying eyeshadow. As you can see, that color is very light. It's very, very fair. So the brush that I'm using is like a tapered kind of, it looks like a concealer brush. And if you want to use it for that, you can. I love Real Techniques, FYI. So I actually do utilize a lot of their brushes. And as you can see, the contrast here is so beautiful because it's a super light shade hitting that darker shade, and then you have a touch of natural brown, which is what I'm taking around her eyelid now so that it looks more clean and crisp. So I'm just using my thumb to kind of lift up her brow so that I can apply the products that are needed. This is one of the reasons why I like to do foundation last, is so that I can kind of manipulate the skin to go where I want it to go and do what I want it to do without having to touch up those areas. So I can kind of rest my hand on her cheek if I wanted to, which you'll see me, you should have seen me done by now. And I'm just simply taking my time, yet still moving efficiently and quickly, which is important as a makeup artist as well. So there were a couple of different palettes that I used, so I'm not gonna bother to break that down. Just know that I used the Nomad by Juvia's Place for this light shade. I also used, I think, maybe the Warrior for a light brown shade. I use like 3 different palettes, but I mean, if you want to replicate the same look, you just kind of have to keep the concept in your head. A light fair shade, a brown skin tone shade, and just a dark brown. You don't always have to get the palettes that people say in their videos or what they're exactly using. Just because some things may be out of your price point, or you may not be able to find it because for some reason products, they don't last that long on shelves, and manufacturers don't really keep making them like that. So one thing that's important to remember is if you want to replicate a look, just try to find similar colors. You don't have to use the exact same thing that everybody's using. So I'm just going to take this foundation and go right up under her eyes and highlight those important areas just as if I would do as if I had actual concealer. So one thing I noticed about this process is that the foundation dries super quick, so you gotta hurry up and blend it all. In hindsight, which is always 2020, I would have blended one section at a time. Even though the look came out very cute, which you'll see very shortly, I would have definitely applied each section one by one, and blended it out as soon as I placed it down, because again, it does dry a little bit fast. So I love her teeth. Isn't she so pretty? I think she said she looked like Wakanda or something. And I was like, you know what, this is actually my favorite part of doing makeup, is it looks kind of tribal, which I think is cool. So I'm just gonna blend that out and apply powder as normal. And y'all know I love a bright under eye, so that's kind of the theme here. So keep watching and make sure you add some comments below. So really quickly, I wanted to say that you can see that the concealer, because of its brightness against the contrast of her skin, it really snatches the face and makes those high points really pop out, which is what you really want to do with concealer, depending on the person's face shape. So I really love this. I love when concealer goes on because I feel like it's just a look for me. I love it. So cute. My cousin is so pretty, and I'm so glad that she let me do her makeup and trust me with her skincare and her face. And so I'm really happy about it. So keep watching. Okay, so I finished blending out the foundation, because again, we don't have concealer today because I left it wherever, God knows. Anywho, so I'm taking my small brush and I'm applying some foundation. I think this is cream contour by e.l.f. to her nose, and I'm going to add it around her forehead, a little bit on her cheekbones to kind of accentuate her cheekbones, and perhaps a little bit of, below the jawline. Okay, so here I'm taking a little bit of finishing powder by, I believe it's Black Radiance. And I'm just taking that around the areas where I place a little bit of contour, cream contour, so that those areas can stay set and they don't smudge and move when my client will go out and about. And yeah, so that's just going to keep that cream stable. Okay, so I am now dusting away the excess setting powder. I'm using a brush that has the finishing powder on it so that it kind of tones down the powder a little bit. That's another one of those things that if you don't have the proper shade of setting powder or translucent powder for whatever reason, you can use a little bit of finishing powder over top of it to kind of tone it down. So that there is, the powder will do what it's supposed to do and then look the shade that you want it to look. So here I am applying some Anastasia Beverly Hills gel eyeliner. This is actually my first time using it. So it's so easy to use. It was a little bit on the pricier side, but I love it because it's long lasting, it's quality, and honest to God, I love the drugstore and everything, but baby, one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a good product. I'm starting to expand my products now, and my range of things that I've been using. So, oh God, look at this. It's so pretty. That eyeliner added such a pop to her eye, and I'm just thoroughly pleased with the entire look. I hope you're enjoying it too. If so, please let me know how you feel down in the comments. Also, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe and like some things, share some things, support your girl, because we out in Jersey balling like we off a team. Thank you so much, by the way. So this is definitely my favorite shot right here. I think I just love the way her eyes look because of the pop of the lighter eyeshadow shade. I really enjoy this look. I know she really loved it. At some point, I saw her facial expression and she just felt so pretty right there, and I just love that reaction because I feel like I like to make people feel beautiful, and I like for people to kind of just see themselves in a different light and realize like, wow, this is not too much makeup. I look cute. I still look like myself, and it's just really fun. Like, makeup is amazing. You can do whatever you want with it. You can use the smallest amount or you can use a lot, whatever. It's your world, and what you can do is, use your creativity. So sorry for blabbing, but I really love talking about makeup. That's my #1 passion in the world. Like, I could do this for the rest of my life and still be literally happy doing it. But I hope you enjoyed today's look. If so, please let me know how you feel down in the comments. Make sure you share this video with somebody you love. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.